What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to something that Cabster just thought of. We're going to be calling this the Serjical Pod, which is an interesting name. This is going to be like a little podcast series I'm going to do. I'm joined by Antonio over here, as well as Cabster. They're going to be here for the first episode, and hopefully they'll join us for multiple episodes, So these two are from Serj's Patreon Discord, which you could join if you support Serj on Patreon. It's a fun little community we have, We did a listening party for Serj's EP, which we're going to talk about here in a second. And, it's been a ton of fun, We've been in this Discord for a couple years now, and we've never been this active on, the voice channels and stuff, which is kind of crazy that it's taken us this long. But, how are you guys doing?
I'm fine this evening. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just came off work and I'm ready to talk about some Serj and System.
That's great.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we're all very passionate about System of a Down, Serj Tankian, all that stuff. Another friend of ours, Maxx, might be joining us in a little bit. But for now, we're just gonna get right into it. So, first of all, Serj just released an EP. It's only Saturday. It was literally yesterday. I feel like it's been out for like a week already. But yeah, I've listened to it so much. But Serj just released his brand new EP, Elasticity, which was a 5-track little mini record that he originally intended for System of a Down, which you definitely can hear in some of the music. He's been talking about this EP for fucking years now, since 2018 he teased Electric Yerevan. And but yeah, it's been a while, but finally released it. Antonio, what are your thoughts on that, on the whole EP?
The whole EP was brilliant, honestly. It just further shows you how much of a lyrical genius Serj is, and even with sounds, you see on how many times it's it had like Elect the Dead vibes. It was like piano, hard riffs, and the whole thing was amazing. And even in the song Your Mom, even the song, the lyrics that are hilarious, he made them sound good. He was like, we have an agreement with your mom, and he still made it sound good.
I love
the
that.
whole thing was great. And yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Oh yeah, going back to the whole Your Mom thing, I love just the ending of the song where he's like, let your mom in and watch him. What is it? I forgot the lyric. Let your mom in and watch him wipe him out or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and it's so good. I'm just like, it's so good.
It really is.
What about you, Cabster? What did you think about it?
From what I've listened, but it's not really downloaded yet on my phone for some reason, I guess. But I have listened to it about 3 times, and I just love Elasticity, especially the title track, the starting one.
Mm-hmm.
The music video was it had this grainy sort of feel to it,
Mm-hmm.
and even in a video itself, you can tell there's so many different layers and depth to it. It's all up to interpretation. Also, he started off the song with a fucking burp, so
that was sick.
I think there's not much more to say about that.
We got to talk about the phone sound at the beginning of what song? It was Roomy, right?
Roomy. I was tripping out.
So was I. At first I thought my phone went off, and then I listened to it 3 hours later. I'm like, it did it again. So I skipped back, and it's maybe he didn't know his phone went off, or maybe it was on purpose. Maybe it's a subliminal meaning or something.
That's definitely one of the things we're gonna have to ask Serj in the future.
Oh, absolutely.
I was so confused. I thought I was the only one that heard it, and I had heard it, and I wanted to bring it up, but I just never actually was like, hey, did anyone else fucking hear this? Was it just me?
Yeah.
But interesting choice. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. It was kind of weird.
I think he did it by accident. I think he must have been recording in his studio or something, and then his phone went off, and his phone went off, and he didn't realize it picked up in the mic. So that's my thought on it.
Oh yeah.
Yep, exactly in the 10-second mark, you hear it right before he starts speaking.
Yeah, I mean,
I was gonna ask you guys what your favorite track was, but I can guess, Antonio, yours is How Many Times. And then Cabster said he liked Elasticity the most. For me, it's between, honestly, Your Mom and Roomy. Roomy was just so fucking good. It's so emotional, Just the lyrics of it was just fantastic. But then you have a song like Your Mom, which is just, fast paced, system kind of style music with Serj's funny ass lyrics and his little voices that he likes to do, his little squeaks, if you will. I don't know. It's just it's between those two.
Yeah. It's just he's so original in that way, you know. I don't know any like other musician that
Mm-hmm.
would really like do voices and the way he talks and stuff like that. And even the lyrics, like make funny ass lyrics, but still make it sound good. Cause you could go on a song and be like, "Oh, I fucked your mom," like like it wouldn't sound as good. But he like finds a perfect way to include it in the songs. So that's what I really love about Serj, really.
It's fucking fantastic. I mean, it's all so good. I mean, the System of a Down fans, even they're the System of a Down fans, the hardcore System of a Down fans, usually lean toward more like Darren stuff. But pleasantly surprised with how many System of a Down fans actually like this EP. I remember when Elasticity first came out, a lot of the people on the System Reddit didn't like it. They were very confused by it. They were turned off by the synth.
They're very critical of it. Yeah, especially on a Facebook. If you go on a page, you can
Oh
see
yeah.
like
I
borderline
got into too many
insulting Serj.
arguments on that. I got into
it
way too many arguments.
it hurt me to see all the hate for that song. I'm just like, no.
I know.
But and then
From a
when the rest of the
critical
EP came
standpoint-
out. Oh no, go ahead.
From a critical standpoint, I mean, like, it makes sense that like not everybody's gonna be a fan of it. It's still Serj's stuff. I think when he said it was like System of a Down material, I guess people had that kind of expectation of like,
Mhm.
oh look, it's like the closest thing to a new album we're getting.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But obviously he put his own touch on it, and I think people kind of forgot that like
Uh-huh.
it has that Serj touch. I mean, I like the EP myself personally. I
Mhm.
feel like it was a great mixture between Harakiri and like the Dead.
I agree. Yeah, when Serj was first, advertising this record, this EP, he kind of made me nervous with the way he would word it. He's like, "I'm not saying it's toxicity, but it's basically toxicity," he said. And I'm just like, "You're going to piss off so many System of a Down fans when this album comes out and it's not like toxicity." So I was like, "Please,
Yeah.
Serj, do not fucking disappoint us." And honestly, he didn't.
No, he definitely didn't.
He didn't disappoint us. It's obviously not toxicity, but it's really good.
I didn't realize how many people hated him because of the Electric Out event song. Like people I saw on Facebook, people were trashing him. People from Armenia were like trashing him about it, saying he was like a traitor. Like I don't really know like the situation in Armenia right now, but they're like he's a traitor. You've sold out to like the corrupt government. I'm like, wow, like people are really like pissed at him. And
Mhm.
then there was people, who were like, get stick to system. Like you need to like get your
Yeah.
act together and work with Darren. And that's when I like started replying to people. I'm like system wouldn't even be a thing without him. So how about we put a little fucking respect on his name?
I agree.
It's ridiculous.
Before I comment more on that, let's welcome Max. He joined us. Let's go.
Hello.
How are
Awesome.
I'm great. I'm great. How's everyone?
you? We're all doing good. I started off by asking what they thought, of the EP, and what your favorite track is. So let's go over to
I love the EP. I really liked it. Didn't expect it. For example, I didn't expect songs like Rumi, the slow piano and everything. I didn't expect that on the EP because he talked about it being more rock and stuff.
you.
But I really enjoyed it. But my favorite has to be Your Mom.
Yeah, that's such a good song.
Yeah, I love your mom.
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen interviews like that with Serj talking about it. He's like, "Oh, one of my favorite tracks on here, Your Mom." He's like, "Oh, I love saying that." I'm like, "Yes, we're gonna love saying that too." But
I'm sure when he
anyway,
he called it that, he was like, he knew
he's
what
like,
he was
"This is gonna
doing.
be
He
perfect."
knew it.
Yeah, but going back to what you were saying about Electric Yerevan on the comments on YouTube or whatever on Facebook and all the socials, I've seen those comments where they're calling him a traitor for stuff, and I don't know, it kind of confused me, to be honest, as to why people were like, because I don't know everything going on over there, but I think the reason why people are pissed off is because, Serj, how he went to Armenia for the whole Velvet Revolution thing to get the current prime minister in. And it's my understanding that the current prime minister kind of signed the treaty or whatever, basically giving Artsakh back to Azerbaijan. So that's why the people are pissed off at him, and that's Serj's buddy, as they like to call him. So that's why I think they're upset with Serj for not speaking out more about that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Electric Yerevan is something completely different, so I don't know why they're putting the two together or whatever.
Yeah, I really don't know the whole situation in Armenia, but I know that like when the Velvet Revolution happened, like they were very close. He was very close with
Mhm.
the prime minister, or well, he was really the guy who started the whole revolution. Then he became the prime minister, which is
Yeah.
honestly amazing. Like how the leader of a revolution, like he gets elected into like being prime minister right after that, and he gets to fix
Mhm.
the whole government. But I get what people are saying by like he backed out of the war and like he gave up Armenian land and people. But
Yeah.
I don't know the whole situation with the war and but I feel like
It has
they
to
were
be a
getting
question of
like
politics. It has to.
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
Like maybe he
And
was pressured into it, but I'm pretty sure Serge was pissed about that too. Like I'm
oh,
helping you,
no
then
doubt.
you're just like fucking me in the back, you know. But I'm
Mhm.
convinced he was pissed about that. There's no denying it. But the
Yeah.
thing is that you know, he did good things, but like every politician, there's good and bad. But just happened that Serge kind of got backstabbed with this one.
Mhm. Um, Taking a little step back to the whole how I'm surprised System of a Down fans actually really like this. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that Serj used a lot of heavier guitar tones in this record or this EP compared to some stuff like Harakiri and Imperfect Harmonies. Um, Also, another interesting thing is his vocals in this EP are really good. He doesn't really rely on a lot of the nasally vocals that people come to expect from him now, which is really good because System of a Down fans, they're not the biggest fan of that. So I think that had a big thing to do with System fans actually enjoying this EP more than others. Serge's voice on those lows are so good, and then even those highs on the record, like on the song like how many times, his vocals on that track were just so incredible.
That's why I loved
Yeah.
it. You know.
Hmm. But yeah, that EP was fantastic. I mean, Electric Yerevan, it's such a good track. But the thing, I was kind of a little disappointed. Not disappointed, but like kind of underwhelmed considering that we've been listening to this track for a while. It's been on YouTube since literally 2015. But
I don't even
he,
know if he knows about that.
I don't know actually,
I
but
doubt it. I doubt it.
yeah, I mean he didn't
Yeah,
even
they
know what we
probably
knew about
don't.
Frick, so
Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably don't even know that their like system demos are
are on.
online and ever. Yeah,
Yeah, but
like I'm pretty
go
sure he
ahead.
doesn't even know that Frick has been leaked from the way he talks about it in Truth
In
to
Truth to
Power,
Power.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking about Truth to Power, um, at the end of Truth to Power, they actually play the demo, or not the demo, the studio version of Electric Yerevan almost all the way through. So I'd already listened to it on there. So that kind of added to more like it's only really 3 new songs since we've already had Elasticity for like a month before that. But
Yeah.
Truth to Power, fantastic documentary.
Yeah,
It was so good from start to finish. Like you really get all that old school. He starts with System of a Down, or Soil, his first band, Forever Young, and then you hear that first clip, the first song he ever sang on Waco Jesus, and I'm just like, can we get a full version of that? Like he very clearly still has that somewhere. Like
yeah,
please release it.
Yeah.
It's just so good. And then like the overall story about Serj and the song Bari Kiel, it all comes full circle in the documentary. It starts off
yeah.
as the song as like his grandfather singing to him or whatever, or his dad listening to it at home, and then to come full circle and him at the end sing that song in front of Armenia after they win the Velvet Revolution. It's so beautiful. And then Serj just crying at the end talking about it. I'm just like,
It was heartwarming.
that was
I
powerful shit.
yeah. I shed a tear. It was the whole documentary. I mean, it really just shows you what's behind the music, you know.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
like I know a lot of people who like my friends, they're System fans. Like they've almost never listened to the lyrics.
Yeah.
Like
Ugh.
in a political sense, like what prison song means and what like soil, like oh my god, like the
Hmm.
whole documentary, it really took you behind the music, but also showed you how much of an like how much how far like Serge is willing to go. Like I saw
Mhm.
him literally go up to the Speaker of the House, Dennis Hastert, and he tells him to read his letter. you got some fucking balls to do
I
that,
I
man.
was
Like, it
yeah, exactly. I
was
was kind of
crazy.
like in my seat, like, oh shit, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It was almost
You went
like
up, did you read my letter? Like, come on,
it was almost
really?
like cringy almost, but like I was just like, holy shit, this is hard to watch. Like, holy fuck, your
Yeah.
balls. I could never.
He could have been
It's
arrested right then and there.
Mm,
yeah, it's definitely like motivating because like I have my own stuff I believe in, and I was like, like I really need to get out and like say what like the cause is and like how we need to fix like this injustice, and it is really motivating for me to see like a guy who went from like training in business to being an international rock star and political activist. Like it really is just motivating. The whole documentary was very heartwarming, and I suggest anyone goes and rents it. Just even if you don't like System and you want to like get into Surge and System,
I agree.
that documentary will do it for you. It definitely will.
I agree. It's
Yeah.
it's a lot more than just a documentary about music. It's a documentary about fighting for what you believe in and all that.
Yeah, it
Cabster,
had.
yeah. What about you?
Mhm.
What do you
Yeah,
think
it
about
had
it?
really good pacing in my opinion. Like he really knew like what topics to like cover first and what order to like cover them in. Just give me a second.
It's all good. We'll circle back to you. Um, I mean, what was your guys' favorite part of the film?
Um,
Oof,
my
it's
favorite
tough.
part.
Oh,
I love when he was doing the tour of his home studio and talking a bit about his work with system, his solo work, how
Mm-hmm.
he works with music, how he works with compositions and all that stuff. That was really like interesting to hear about. Like it was kind of like the Dead EPK, but mixed with some with the My Year video that never got completed, by the way, and another a couple of other things, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yours.
yeah. Um, this is tough, and this was actually in the trailer. But when he says, and am I allowed to curse?
I don't
Is
give a
that
shit.
is
Go ahead.
oh you know all right. But he goes, "We're gonna make the Turkish government pay for their fucking crimes."
Yeah,
I
I
love
was I
that.
was like, "Oh, bro, that's so sick."
Goosebumps every time.
that was
Yeah,
part
I
of
Very
love
the
that.
Holy
emotionally
Mountains
charged.
performance, I think.
Uh huh.
Yeah, yeah.
Either Holy Mountains or Pluck. It's
I think
one
that
of the
was the
two.
Yeah.
Souls concert, right? That was
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Souls.
Soul
it was Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2004.
Yep. That was a great concert too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Capster. Now you can talk about whatever you were saying.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm just trying to make sure no background noise leaks in.
All right. So, what was your favorite part of the film, Capster, personally for you?
I'd say it's mostly the intro, like the beginning parts, just because it's just a lot of parts of his life that you don't really get to see
Mm-hmm.
or get much information of. So like all that exclusive footage and like all these just details and like pictures and even like audio recordings like that song that you just never seen before.
Yeah.
It's very revealing. I feel like in the later parts you can kind of like tell like when this happened or you can remember when that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But like stuff like before he made it big or how he got there is like the most interesting in my opinion. And I really do like that he showed like way more than he should have off.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, like it's not really one just moment, but it's the whole story of the Bariara Kid, a song about a stork finding its way home. And
Yeah.
it starts with Serj, starting his new life, his family moved to Los Angeles, and this song has always been a thing for him, and then it all comes full circle in the end when he goes back home to Armenia, sings a song to his people, and just that whole I guess theme, the whole whatever, it's so good. But I couldn't believe that Serge dove into the whole System of a Down hiatus. He had that whole poem, basically explaining his feelings on why the hiatus happened, and you see, even back to the Toxicity interviews, back then he was like, I feel like doing stuff is artistically redundant, doing the same thing is artistic. So he's always had that feeling. It's not like something he
Yeah.
developed later on. He's always been the same way, in that sense. And another thing I also found really interesting was um, the whole 9/11 thing. Serge's,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know that
understanding
Yeah, the
happened
oil.
post
until I
there.
watched it.
I knew it
I didn't
happened,
even.
but I didn't know the extent until he explained it in that film.
Yeah, I didn't
The
know that the whole thing
the
was
show they
controversy
did,
too.
right?
Mm-hmm.
No, it was. I think it was a post that he made on the System of a Down website without any permission from the rest of the band
Oh,
members.
yep.
It got them in a whole lot of shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
One thing I do like is how unfiltered he is and how consistent. I mean, I guess
Yeah.
people could say he isn't, but I do respect him for being very consistent with like his beliefs and the things he said.
Hmm. Like you could see it in the film when when Chavo talks about it, he's like, you can see the emotion. He's like, us as a band, we were almost done. We got banned everywhere. We couldn't play our music, and it's especially right after you release a record. You don't want that to happen to you. But I guess the whole story behind it, even John agrees. And they have completely different political opinions. Even John agreed with him, and Chavo agreed with him. What he said, it wasn't wrong. He
Yeah.
wasn't wrong about what he said. It's just the timing of it all, because it just happened. He posted it right after 9/11, basically saying it's America's fault that this happened to their people or our people. So just oh man,
Yeah.
like the
It was
balls
just
on
very
that guy.
unfiltered and said in a
Yeah.
very sensitive time
Jesus,
frame.
the balls on
Yeah.
that guy.
He's willing to say anything as long as the message gets out, and that's something you truly gotta admire about someone.
Oh
He
yeah.
doesn't care about the risk and the consequences of it. If he believes in something, he'll say it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I feel like people don't take that into account often about him, and they just care about him going back with system. They're
Oh
just like,
yeah.
get back with system already. Like
Exactly.
With
like don't you?
Darren.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
has some
Darren. Yeah.
backbone, which many people don't have.
I know people like to be like, stick to music, get the fuck out of politics, stick to music. But he's literally been into politics since day one, and people just don't like to fucking I
Yeah, they
just
just don't listen to the lyrics. That's my point from before. Like people just don't really listen to the lyrics. Like what he's saying. If people just read that on a piece of paper, I think most of them would be like, "What? No, like what are you talking about?" Because
exactly.
most people who listen to that music probably don't agree with like being political in songs. They'd be like, "No, like what the hell is this?" So, I feel like that's not like recognized often enough that
Yeah,
that his lyrics are so political.
I agree with that. I'm just like, how do you not like realize this? How do you
Yeah,
listen to a song like Prison Song and aren't fucking slapped in the face with the information he's literally speaking to you? Like
He's
the whole
straight up
song.
reading statistics as a
He's
song. And you're like,
exactly.
oh man, this is a
yeah.
bop, dude.
He's literally lecturing you for an entire 3 minutes, and you're just like, yeah, this isn't political at all. Stick to fucking music. Like what?
It's ridiculous.
But yeah, going back to
Sticks to music because people listen.
exactly, they listen and they don't even know they're listening.
True.
Hmm.
But yeah, going back to like how you said, Serj is unfiltered. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll do whatever he has to do to get his message across. I think that goes hand in hand with System releasing those 2 new songs. He didn't let his feelings get in the way of that. He's like, our people need help. Let's fucking do this, and it worked. I mean, it got everyone's fucking attention. I remember I was laying in my bed. It was like, I forgot what time it was, but I was laying in my bed on my phone on Discord with a couple friends, when I get a notification on my phone saying System of a Down just uploaded genocidal humanoids. I was like, what the fuck is that? I'm like
Yeah.
getting goosebumps right now just thinking about it. But I was like, holy shit, no fucking way. And I was freaking out. Like my friends are just listening to me freak the fuck out at like 10 or whatever time o'clock it was at night. They're just listening to me freak out. They don't even know what the fuck is going on. Like for all they know, I'm getting fucking attacked by somebody. But I'm literally freaking out. I go to it. I click genocidal humanoids first. I hear the intro of it, and I hear Darren, can you, and I'm like, wait, this is fucking real. I pause the video, instantly go to my computer, and I fucking listen to the songs for the first time. I have my reaction for the first time ever, which I'm glad I reacted to it, because I don't know if I'll ever be able to listen to new System of a Down music again, but I don't know, nothing will ever top that feeling of like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Like I don't know if them announcing that they were gonna do it, I don't think it would have had the same effect as them just like, here you fucking go.
Just releasing it.
Here
like,
you go.
Yeah, I had the exact same reaction. I was in bed and it was like 12 in the morning here in New York. And
Mm.
yeah, I got a ping from Victims and he was like, System of a Down released 2 new songs. I'm like, what? No way. So I click on it and I start listening. I'm like, wait, let me call my friends because they're big System fans too. I'm like, get on, System just released new music, and they're like, no, you're lying, man. Like you're lying. And then we got on. We all watched. I streamed it in my Discord, and they had to tell me to shut up because I was like, every like we listened to Protect the Land first. We watched the video,
Mhm.
and like every time they would like sing, they're like big gun. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. Like they'd tell me to shut up. It was like such a great feeling. I was
Oh
so
yeah,
excited about it. And even when the Genital Humanoids video came out, I loved that video.
I
Even though
so good.
it almost gave me a seizure, like the bright lights. But it really emphasizes their point,
hmm
which
I
really
love
love about
that.
that video.
I remember watching the Protect the Line music video when as soon as it's like System of a Down, like the big text on the screen during the video, System of a Down. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking real. This is happening. Like they just dropped 2 new songs. I don't know, Cabster. What about you? How did you react when you fucking first saw these or heard these 2 new songs?
I mean, I was excited as shit. I didn't even like bother like read description or anything. I just blasted it.
Hmm
Obviously, I
Yeah.
was a bigger fan of Genocidal Humanoids because it felt closer to home to what they typically make.
hmm
I'm kind of glad they dropped it as like a surprise rather than like setting expectations because they didn't
hmm
care. They wanted to get like a message out. They wanted to spread awareness, and they did.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
Um.
people kind of forget that like System of a Down is a political band, and they will literally like do anything to get their message across. If you go to a concert of theirs, it's like attending a political rally almost.
Yeah. I'm personally for me, Genocide Humanoids was obviously my favorite of the two. And I really enjoyed the tracks. I'm just like I'm glad that it happened because for the longest time the debate was could Serj's new voice work with a system record now, and I think in my opinion I think these two songs really solidified that yeah it could fucking work if it ever happened.
Yeah.
Was it
Um,
even his new voice? I
was
mean, it
it?
sounds pretty much. It sounds like his hypnotized voice.
That's
If
what
you
I
listen
was
to
gonna
Holy
say.
Mountains,
Yep.
That's what I was gonna
Yep.
say. His
same vocals.
during the the guess who's coming over to dinner. Like I'm just like I just hear Serj from 2005 right there. Like he's like it sounds just like him. Like it's so good.
Kind of different, although it's kind of a mix between 2005, 2002, but
Mhm,
also some of his new way of singing,
mhm.
uh, binding together for a new sound.
Yeah, you can definitely hear a lot of his older voice, of course, whenever he sings his lows, because his lows still sound the same.
Hmm
If you listen to the Genocide of Humanoids, you hear him, I think in your right ear when he's like, persecution ends now, and I just hear his 2001 voice every time I hear him sing that. I'm just like, that's 2001 Serj singing to me right now. So that's cool
Yeah.
stuff right there. But Protect the Land was a little different. At first, I didn't know what to think. I didn't enjoy it as much. But
Yeah.
over time, it definitely grew on me. I just wish Serj was mixed a little louder in the vocals.
I agree.
Yeah.
I just thought he was too low. I feel like because on my first listen, I couldn't even really hear Serj. But over time, like I started hearing him louder and louder because I knew, I have to like specifically
parts
try
you
and
didn't
hear
like.
him. Like yeah, which is it's kind of frustrating that you have to specifically try and hear Serj to hear him.
Yeah, the
So
mixing was kind of. It was kind of difficult to like make out
yeah,
Serge's voice over Darius in these songs. I think same problem in Hypnotized and Mesmerized too. The
hmm
mixing just wasn't the same.
the mixing on the 2 songs was definitely
It's
weaker.
very Darren heavy.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah,
I'm
like I
pretty sure
said,
Darren has a part to play in the mixing because he did most of Mesmerize Hypnotize, right?
yeah.
And we all know
Yeah.
that.
Neither does his
Uh,
songs.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like
maybe.
it sounded more like a Scar song, to be honest. When I first listened to it, I'm like, this kind of, well,
Mhm.
obviously it does sound like a Scar
I
song because Darren
agree.
wrote it,
Well,
but
even on System songs, he did write the music there too. So I
yeah,
guess it could just be
yeah,
his writing style in general showing.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I I specifically liked the part where Serge goes like, "We're gone in hand," like
Yeah,
that part was like, it just, oh my god, that part
That's
was
my
amazing.
favorite part of the song because I'm like,
Yeah,
because Protect the Land to me almost sounds like Serj is only there to hit the notes that Darren can't hit. That's almost what it
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
like to me.
It's
Like,
more of a Scar song featuring
It's a very tame
Serge
song
ex-
too.
on backing vocals.
yeah. When I first heard Genocidal Humanoids though, all I could think
It's more of a
about
soul song. Yeah.
when I first heard that song though, all I could think about was there's this YouTuber on and he posts like mashups of Serj songs and Darren songs, and he
Yep.
it's like what an album would sound like. And when I first heard Genocidal Humanoids, it kind of reminded me of that because it's literally just Darren singing, and then it's Serj singing, and then Darren singing, kind of like how the songs on those go. So I'm
yeah.
just like I just can't unhear that, but over
Yeah, the
time
first second it
it's
was
just so
mixed by
good.
the same guy, dude.
Yeah, I was like, wait, did he fucking hack their page? Like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, yeah, I do gotta say though, I love Darren's voice on both these records. Protect the Land. It did sound like a Scars song, but I do like Scars, and I think Darren he didn't mix it to what I wanted it to be, but I think he still did really good on both songs,
Uh
and
huh.
I feel like the whole band has this whole thing that they probably think that Serj isn't, like he can't really do main vocals anymore. He probably just can't do the screams, unfortunately.
I,
But
God,
I think they've I don't think Serj thinks the same, but I think the majority of the band thinks that. Like Serj, I mean not Serj, Darren, John, and Chavo, they're probably like, well, his voice has evolved, so we really can't like we're probably gonna have to like make Darren kind of like the main vocal on both songs. Not really Genocidal Humanoids. Serj was
Mhm.
more present in that, which was really good. Yeah.
Thank God.
And yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I think that's just how they feel about it. But I don't disagree. I don't agree at all with that
Yeah,
at all.
the thing is, I don't hate Darren's voice. I just prefer Serge's voice to take the lead. I mean, I don't like the argument that Serge can't scream anymore. He can't do system records or anything.
You can
He
scream.
definitely
He-
can.
he-
He just chooses not to.
He could scream.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to because he doesn't want to scream live no more. Or for the most part, he doesn't want to scream a lot live. So why record a song with a bunch of screams if you're not going to perform it that way live? That way, because I feel like these two new songs, they're gonna kick ass live. They're gonna sound just like the record. They're
In
literally
my
just
opinion, sir. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, hold that thought. But for the most part, I don't hate Darren's vocals. I just think he should chill out because even Darren doesn't scream as much, on his records. So you can't really be like,
True.
Serj can't scream, so he can't be lead. Like Darren doesn't scream either, and he hasn't been a main vocalist for 20 years. He's always been a backup. He's only recently started taking the main vocal spot. So
I mean, I do agree, but you also have to think to note Darren's singing style has really changed over the time. Like he's really developed and matured as a singer. It's much lower, much deeper.
mm,
Like if you listen to his toxicity vocals, you can really hear a much higher voice.
oh yeah,
Especially in Needles.
or even just
Oh, yeah,
prison song,
Needles, prison song.
Yeah.
he definitely used to sing a lot higher.
His backing vocals and Question and any Mesmerize or Hypnotize song, it's definitely higher. Even when he does lead, she's
Oh, they were
Heroin, that's
both
the
on
Scar
point.
song.
In Question. On Question, they were both perfect.
That's a
like,
masterpiece
melody.
right there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What made it better?
go ahead.
What made it better, in those songs, is that he would sing high while Serj would sing low. So when they sing together, you can distinguish their voice, which is something that's kind of hard to do in Protect the Land, where they're both singing low, for example. So you can't really distinguish who's singing, and you can't make out Serj from Darren's vocals.
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially nowadays, Serj definitely sings a lot higher when he sings these days. So Darren is kind of taking the lower vocals for the most part sometimes. Like when they perform BYOB live these days, Serj always goes high during the everybody's going to the party. Back in the day he would sing it like everybody's going, but now it's like everybody, he's all high with it. So and then during the second, how in the first time it's only he only goes through it once, and then the second time Darren backs up towards the second half. Darren takes the lower vocals in that because Serj, goes high with it. I mean, I think that sounds really good still. But it's definitely changed between, who's going to sing the low vocals, who's going to sing the high vocals. But yeah, I think Serj's high vocals are still are great. I don't have a problem with them. He has a hell of a fucking voice.
Personally, I think Darren just does a better job singing live than Serj does in system concerts.
There I don't
yeah.
agree.
That, of course, there's that. I mean, Serj, when Serj sings low though, he goes back to that same old sound. Like if you listen to Spiders from 2018, he sounds just like he used to. He can hit those low notes really well. It's just when he goes to the higher notes, he just switches his vocal style.
He purposely does it.
He definitely
I forgot
does.
which performance it was, but in one of the bounce performances, and I think 2015. He actually starts by singing low, but then he corrects into his high voice. Yeah,
it was in 2017 at Download. We just watched this clip the other night. He's like, unannounced Twister games, all players with no names, and he's like, what? What did you just do? Why did you do that? You're fucking trolling us at this point,
dude.
He's like, oh shit, don't want to use that anymore. Oops, my bad.
He forgot to evolve as a singer.
He actually could, still go back to that voice for the most part.
I mean, he had a year. He had a year off. Think about it. He had a year off from touring with System. The concert's in October. Maybe we see a resurgence.
Who
I'm not
knows?
gonna. I'm not saying he's gonna completely go back to that voice because he won't. But like, I feel like the screams on certain songs, like say like BYOB, when he screams like freedom, it'll be like more like better than it was like say in like
so excited.
2017.
He definitely has
So
the power
we'll see.
to scream that heavily. I just think he doesn't want to.
Oh yeah.
I guess he doesn't see the need to anymore. I guess because he used to scream because I think he tried to compensate for not being able to hit those notes. But
Yeah,
now he can,
exactly.
So he just goes for it.
He said that too. He's like, back in the day, I couldn't hit the notes that I could today, so I would naturally have a more raspy voice on those notes, or I would just scream them. Nowadays, he can hit those notes flawlessly, But going back to like the ending of BYOB, in 2013, he fucking kicked ass at the end. He would, scream his like lungs out towards the end.
Yeah.
Or 2013 was just another thing for Serj. Like, holy shit.
Deer Dance too in 2013.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
Yeah, you can tell in 2013 he really wanted to push and like actually try and scream, and he fucking did it, But holy shit, he's so good.
I just don't get how they can do some songs without it though. I mean, if you listen to like You Fake Live, that sounds nothing like the album version.
Holy shit!
Melt in the sun.
You did not just okay. Thank you for bringing that up.
Which one?
You Fig. Melt in the sun, melt in the sun.
Yeah.
Who wants to come with me
Melt
and
in the
melt in
sun,
the sun?
Yeah.
Oh my! I fucking hated that song in 2018 because for some fucking reason, Serj didn't sing his parts in that song. Like, you know how towards the end of the song it gets all soft and then all of a sudden Serj just goes wild? Serj didn't even sing. Like in 2015 he would sing it. I mean, he wouldn't scream it, but he would do like those weird high-pitched vocals. But in 2018 it was just Darren singing like melt in the sun, melt in the sun. Like, why? Like, I just hated it. Like, I don't know. Serj didn't sing any of the verses in it. He would just back up in the chorus. I didn't like the song at all in 2018.
What ruins his performances isn't really just Serj's vocals, but also Darren's like skipping some parts that he would normally be able to sing in. Like in some songs, he just doesn't do backup at all. Like in Mr. Jack, he doesn't like sing with
Highway
Serj
Song,
near the end.
yeah.
Or yeah, especially Highway Song, or like
No
the one
backing
time he did
vocals.
Pictures Live, he didn't like do any growls or anything. I feel like System would probably sound at least somewhat similar to what they used to if Darren did do his screams.
Yeah.
Because he definitely still screams. He screams before the show, but he never screams during the songs.
Exactly.
When it matters.
I feel like Darren doesn't get enough flack for not, screaming on his, like people like to say, Serj, you don't scream. What the fuck? Fuck you. You suck. But Darren doesn't scream as much either, Like,
if he screamed, that thing would be fine, dude.
I may have an unpopular opinion here, but I fucking love Pictures Live in 2017, even without the screams. Yep. I think Serj during the fear waits for us when I love that song clean though.
Yeah.
I love that song clean.
That's actually how he sung it in the demo. That was
I love that, especially the Mr. Jack ending, like the fuck you pig. Like if you listen to the studio version, Serj isn't screaming. That's Darren screaming, and
he doesn't. Yeah,
he doesn't scream. He just sings it. So yeah. So I'm just like.
Even that screams and SDA.
Like going on like going on what we're talking about like with demo tapes. I remember the other night we listened to Soil, the not final mix, and like it was almost completely the same. But then at the end he goes, "Why did you take it?" Like instead of "Why the fuck," he goes, "Why did you take it away from your fuck?" Like that scream was like better than the original one in my opinion.
Yeah,
I loved it. I loved it.
I agree.
Yeah, I wish they would just release the unreleased stuff, Like, I wish they would just come, even because they know they can't give us an album, right? So just come together, release the unreleased stuff, just so we have something,
We only have one person to blame for the album. It's because someone wants to control the whole band. But it's not my place to say.
That'll be a topic for another podcast here, We could go on for a while talking about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, honestly, System of a Down performances these days, I don't think that it should rely heavily on Serj in his ability to scream, because when he does, he still kicks ass. He still sounds good when he's screaming. Like if you go back to 2015 Rock and Real, Serj singing Soil, and just that ending where he's like, "Why the fuck did you take?" Like like you just expect like a song like that, so emotional to Serj, so personal to him, for him to actually go all out and just scream. And I just love that, you know. And obviously when he does scream, he sounds just like he used to, you know. 2013 screams
Yeah.
just like he used to, or like during the Forest in 2015 at Rock in Rio. That ending scream, if you play it side by side with the Forest scream from 2003 at Reading, exact same sound. Like it's insane. Like he
Yeah,
definitely
like
You
still
can
has it.
tell when they put effort.
yeah, like speaking on you saying like when he goes all out, like he's great. I remember the 2005 EMAs. You ever see that performance, BYOB?
Yeah.
And they were like they were butchering it, but
The one at
they
the MTV,
yeah, MTV
MTV Awards,
EMAs.
right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
they
Yeah.
called them a political punk rock band, so they purposely try to butcher the performance, but they still made it sound amazing. And
Oh
at the
yeah.
end, you could tell Serj is so mad. He's like, "Why? No!" Like he's screaming it, and then
Yes.
he makes the pour at the end, like, "Why they always have pour?" Like he
And he
keeps
just
going
holds
and
it.
going. Yeah,
I love
holds
that.
it, and I'm like, you could tell he's so mad. Like the whole band was pissed.
I
Like
love
it
that.
was amazing.
And then during their little like acceptance speech at the end or something, and you just have Serj like peacefully talking. He's like, you know, Serj's fucking soothing voice, you know, the calmest guy outside of, you know, performing. And then you have Darren being a fucking weirdo like always. He's like, "Woo!" And then he fucking chucks the mic into the audience like, holy shit, what the fuck? I just like Darren,
Yeah,
He's
Jesus,
they
great.
didn't really agree with MTV
ever really.
around
No one
these
does.
times.
No one does.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, but
MTV's a
oh
joke.
man.
These are the same people that made Limp Bizkit. All right, and not to offend anyone who likes Limp Bizkit, but come on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the old Limp Bizkit has great songs like in the 90s.
All right.
Maybe
My
one
bad.
or two songs.
My bad.
So what do you
No, no,
guys
but I
think
mean,
about Systems shows at the end of this year? You think how do you think Serj is gonna sound personally? What do you guys think?
I
Honestly,
don't know, man.
I don't even think I'm gonna really care. I'm just gonna be glad they're gonna be playing another show live and maybe
Mm.
some new
Yeah.
songs to the set list this time.
Oh yeah.
I I do have faith that he'll be performing much more strongly, especially after all that's happened in the past year and a half.
Oh yeah. Definitely have more, you know, passion in his voice, especially after all that. You know.
The, the band's probably like in a better spot too. I mean, just all the chemistry they've had for the past few years, and especially with these two new songs they just
Mhm.
released, I think they've been working together much more better, in my opinion.
Mhm. I agree as well with that.
I'm more worried
Yeah.
about Darren personally in his vocals because I know he can pull out like some really good screams and like some really good like highs and lows, but he kind of doesn't really perform much live. Like he just plays guitar.
Mhm.
He doesn't really do any like the old Darren shit from like the early 2000s, and I kind of hope that like he kind of goes back to that.
Yeah.
Mhm. 2018
Yeah.
Darren was definitely a different beast. You know, he definitely brought back those old school Darren moments that you know and love of him just going crazy on stage.
Yeah. He'll show
I
us his
just
ass
hope he
crack
actually
again.
sings back up in the songs.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. In 2018, I feel like they're definitely gonna play a song like "Pluck" or "Holy Mountains." You know, especially after everything, along with "Genocide, Humanoids, Protect the Land."
Oh, I can't wait for those.
Oh, those songs live are gonna be so much fun.
Hey, actually,
Holy.
Yeah.
Roka, so what do you think their set list gonna be looking like, seeing like after the new additions and everything that's happened?
Oh man, I don't even know. I could honestly see them starting the concert with either "Protect the Land" or "Genocidal Humanoids." I could see any one of those, to be honest. I feel like "Genocidal Humanoids" would be one that's more towards the end of the set list, while "Protect the Land" could
Yeah.
probably start this. The you know
Protect
the
the Land could be the opener, in my
yeah,
opinion.
you know
I can
just
see them
Like
opening with
just
if
both
they
back
picture
to
it.
back.
do the whole drape thing again with the sheet in front of the stage. I don't
Mhm.
know, like around 2012, I think
Mhm.
they did the big System of a Down sheet in front of the
Yeah.
stage. If they did that and with the lights closed and it started with Protect the Land, that would be a banger.
Oh yeah, I could just picture or I could just feel the goosebumps right now. Like just think about it. The lights dim. All of a sudden, the background music they play while they set up for the next band just stops,
Na, 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 na,
and
na,
then you
na, na,
hear
na.
it
Yeah,
exactly.
I
Dun, dun,
can't
dun,
wait.
dun, 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 and you're just like, holy shit, it's happening.
Mark
Um,
my words, they're literally gonna open with "Protect the Land," then "Genocidal," then maybe "Prison Song" like they normally do.
I could definitely hear Protect Land starting it for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean even Corn is gonna be there, and I'm kind of into Corn. I like Corn, so
Oh yeah, I love
that's
corn
it's gonna be good
too.
to see them. Even Faith No More, like that. I believe that was an inspiration for them, Faith No
Yeah,
More.
it
So
was.
so it's that's gonna be pretty freaking cool to see them. You know?
They've
I
been around
love.
that long.
Yeah, they've been around for a while because I read comments, when they posted that, and they're like, "How the fuck is Faith No More opening for System of a Down? System of a Down was literally inspired by Faith No More," and I'm like, "Man, times are different, System of a Down, I mean, I hate as much as
They
you may hate to hear
outlived.
it. They're more popular than them now, Like as much as
Yeah.
you hate to admit it, but I love people reading mad comments. They're like, "Why are they fucking opening?" Blah 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 blah. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Um, let's go ahead and let's talk about I don't know the future of System of a Down after these two new songs and after Serj's EP. Do you think System of a Down has a future releasing new music? Do you think it's possible they release a new song, a new album, a new EP, possibly even just a short little EP? What do you guys
I
think?
think bet-
No.
before 2025 we could hear new stuff. Because like Serge talks a lot about Chavo, talks a lot about John, how he and John see each other like every weeks,
Mm-hmm.
how they keep contacts with Chavo. I think that after the whole Facebook thing that they talk with each other, uh, I think the issue is more like with Darren, because I'm pretty sure Serge wants to do material, but can't see eye to eye with Darren wanting to control, and the two other guys kind of torn in between the middle. But if they talk together and sort this whole things up, I'm I think we're heading there slowly. But for now, we don't know. But I'm pretty sure like if before 2025 we'll get either a single or an EP with new material. But that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think I think unfortunately Darren and Serge are both the same personality. They're both kind of stubborn and egotistical. They want it their way. They think their way is the best, and that's not always a bad thing. Together is not it's not good for the band at all. So
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Max. I don't think we're gonna get anything, but probably before 2025.
Are you
Hmm.
having the latency issues? I'm not sure if this is my end or not, but you did cut
No,
out on us a couple times.
yeah, I had that as well.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. So
Oh,
Yeah, near
Capture,
the end.
uh,
you instantly said no. Why do you think that?
It's
oh,
very obvious that like Darren's songwriting is not what Serge wants, and if you really think about it, I don't think it's ever been what they wanted. I think
Mm-hmm.
like when Serge said that toxicity is like toxicity to him, it could very well be. It could be that kind of material could be what he brought forward back in like 2001, like the early 2000s, and then Darren just kind of
Style.
turned it into his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally stylistic.
I
He's
agree
even
with
said this
that.
happened multiple times. Serge was out of the band by Toxicity's release, which is their second album, but then he stuck around being begged for Mesmerized and Hypnotize.
Mm-hmm.
So I can really see how this has been going on for a while, and I guess
I.
that's why he sings differently now because it's the style he wanted, but
Mm-hmm.
he's always been like kind of censored despite being the front man. And if you
Yeah,
look
I agree
like
with that.
their current music,
Makes sense.
hmm yeah, if you look at their like new songs, you say it sounds like Scars, but the thing is, System is Scars. If you think about it, Darren wrote all the tracks, and the sound has evolved to be Scars. If System had continued the way they have, and they did not go on hiatus, then Scars and Broadway sound would have been System sound, and not the other
Yeah,
way around. You know what I mean?
I agree with that.
If
Like, you never
I
know.
couldn't.
Oh, sorry, you never know what toxicity would sound like if Serge had more say in it because um, what kind of musical influences could Serge have on a record like Toxicity? Shimmy was a song that was completely Serge, music, everything, lyrics.
Yeah.
And you definitely hear that. You can definitely notice a distinct difference between that song and other songs on the record, in my opinion.
Best example would be like Vicinity of Obscenity and Hypnotize, and just compare that to like other
Hmm.
songs in the album.
Even just the lyrics, like between Question and Cigaro, you can hear the difference in lyrics when Serge is involved versus when it's just Darren.
Yeah. But I
hmm
couldn't hear Serge
definitely.
sing Scar's song. Like maybe for from Dictator, but from the first album, I couldn't imagine Serge
Yeah,
singing
Starsky's
they
first album is
say
very close to System of a Down sound though, if you look at it.
But I don't know.
from the sound, yeah, but the
Talking
type
of like vocals that Serj
the
would do on a record or on the song.
yeah
Like lives, I could hear him singing in lives. Dictator, when when Darren starts screaming, "Your politics, your politics!" Like I can hear Serj just shouting his lungs out like a 2001 Serj, Toxicity Serj just screaming that. Like I just hear Serj during that.
Even on like Sirius, what's it
I could.
called? I forget how it goes, but I feel like I could hear Serj on that because you're too.
Too
I could hear them both
serious.
on that part, and
Yeah.
then like
yeah
Serj is low, Darren is high. Like I could totally hear that.
Mhm. Yeah. No, but me personally, I definitely think it's definitely more possible now than ever if System of a Down were to release a new record or any type of new material. One, because obviously they got those two songs out, they saw what it did, and then two, I think Serj is gonna be surprised with how receptive people are to his new EP, because this is probably the most, I guess, positive reaction he's gotten from the System of a Down community on a solo release. I think he's proved that he's definitely really good, with music writing now. He's evolved, I guess, as he likes to put it. He's definitely stronger with it. Darren's lyricism has gone a tiny bit better, but I don't think it's changed as much as Serj's, music writing. I
yeah
think I think definitely Serj
Yeah.
has evolved more than Darren in that aspect, and I hope that Darren sees the response to Serj's EP. I hope Darren sees that because the fans like it, and these are tracks that Darren tried to turn into something completely different that obviously Serj didn't like. This is Serj's vision. This is what he wanted, and if Darren would just take a step back and not change it up that much, like obviously add your signature guitar tones to it, your signature bass, your signature drums, if you can just take a step back, let Serj have more say in it because he's proven he can do it with this EP for sure.
I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, hopefully we'll see. I don't know how much longer System of a Down can tour. Serj is getting up there.
Give it like maybe 3 more years, I would say. Not even, like
Scary.
even when Serj had that back problem during Genocidal Humanoids, like when he had used the mic stand, I was like, that's you kind of start to worry. Like, well, he's kind of
Exactly.
diminishing, but with the music, no, he's not diminishing.
I
Like
agree.
Elasticity, no, absolutely not. That was that was a great release, and he
Hmm.
should keep going. I know he
but
said
on
he
the
has
other
another rock EP behind him, but he definitely needs to keep going.
yeah
Oh yeah.
but on the other end it um, give me a sec. What's the name? Yeah, Elasticity probably was recorded a couple years ago. Most of the songs were like not recently voice recorded.
Hmm. Especially Electric Kid on
Yeah.
that was like 6 years ago
Yeah,
now.
Electric we knew about it. Elasticity is maybe new, but the other songs could be like have been recorded like I don't know 5 years ago or
Oh yeah.
How many times you could tell that that's not his voice now? Like the beginning part, like you could tell he recorded that years ago. I don't think there was any way he recorded that now. Maybe like max like 4 or 5 years ago. Like that's how good it was. And
Oh
I
yeah.
I think I think we should probably be seeing more of that on the next EP because there's got to be like tons of stuff he's recorded. He's got a studio in his home, so
yeah
he had all this free time during the pandemic. So you got to think there's way more songs that we just haven't heard yet.
Oh yeah.
yeah
I
I
agree with
agree.
that. But yeah, as far as how long can they go on? I mean, Serge is gonna be 54 by the time we see them in October. He's getting up there. And personally, I just hope that System of a Down has a farewell tour and they don't just stop playing after a year. I hope they announce
Yeah,
like this is it. We're done after this. So
Yeah,
get your tickets, come see us, cause after this we're done. This is our final year. I hope it's like that and they don't just disappear.
I
I
mean,
agree.
but
they
on the
probably
other
go on
hand,
hiatus
if you
without
look
saying
at
anything until the last show, so you never know.
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, if you look at Iron Maiden, they're like 60s, pushing 70s, and still going super strong on stage.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I
I personally feel like Serj doesn't have it in him to go for that long. Especially the way that their songs go. The fast paced, tongue twister kind of style lyrics. the craziness in his voice that he has to do. Because he said it himself. He can't just show up and sing. He has to warm up his voice a couple months before he starts to tour. You know, because yeah, it's definitely a big switch between singing his solo stuff and then going on and singing System of a Down stuff. You know, it's definitely a shift in your attitude, your voice, just everything. It's just it's a different kind of thing to do.
They've also been
Yeah.
playing much more slowly live. If you
Mhm.
listen to them like after the
Yeah.
hiatus.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's definitely more of a thing for Serj to, you know, because if you go back to 2002 and stuff, or 2003, just as time went on, you notice that, you know, Serj definitely has a little bit of trouble with his endurance. He has trouble keeping his breath sometimes during like a song like Deer Dance, or you know, just anything like that. Like the songs maybe played too fast back then, but you know, now he's definitely more in control.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
funny because like after Mesmerize and Hypnotize released, they even upped tuning for like the new songs.
For
Even
Serj's higher
older
voice.
songs. Yeah, they were played like at a higher tuning, and I think they've even played a bit faster too. So after the hiatus, they come back
Yeah.
with their original tuning and much more slowed down. It's just
Mm-hmm.
complete shift and like the direction they were going.
Yeah.
It looks like they evolved backwards almost. Even like in the style, they look much more like they literally look like themselves from the Toxicity era, but just older, as
Yeah.
opposed to like just
I
growing their
agree.
hair out and just having like these weird like fancy tuxedos and stuff when they play live.
Exactly. Serj's beard these days isn't as crazy as it used to be. It's more clean, definitely. He doesn't grow out his sideburns no more.
Yeah.
But he's in there, you know.
I miss the long hair. As much as I love the like 2001, 2002 hair, like I miss the long curls and him just wearing the BYOB jacket and like the one who wears in the music video. He wore those like all his
Oh yeah.
concerts in the beginning, and you know it's so funny. Like you could see him like uh in between songs, like you could see he changed his outfit because like the jacket probably gets too hot on him. It's
Yeah.
like hilarious. It's hilarious.
I love that.
And
He's always well dressed in the photo shoots and in the music video, but then on
oh
stage,
yeah,
black shirt. Here you go. Black
yeah.
shirt, gray pants.
He literally looked like he was going to like a wedding or something. Like after he takes off like the jacket during like a story, he's wearing like a button down and pants tucked in. And I'm like, dude, this isn't a wedding. It's a rock concert.
Oh yeah, especially coming from 2011 during the reunion tour, he's wearing that button-up white shirt, and I'm
Yeah,
just like, because I mean, he wore that during his solo record, and I'm like, this dude's dressing all formal for his fucking, you know, his rock metal concert. I was like,
Yeah.
damn.
You can tell he was kind of getting sick of the style too. Like I think very late in 2006, he started tying up his hair back and he just kind of cut it
Oh
completely.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Personally for me though, with so live performances, I feel like 2011 was Serj's, like, not his best vocals since the reunion, but his stage presence in that year was just insane. This dude would walk around stage, he would run around stage, he would do his goofy dances, he would give speeches to the crowds. Like, I personally like watching those 2011 concerts because of how active Serj is on stage. His voice isn't obviously the best in that year. As for, you know, his vocals just weren't as good because, you know,
He
it's
was
his
a
first
solo
time
voice, yeah.
it's his first time back to System of a Down in, you know, 6 years or whatever. So he
yeah.
needed time to find that. You know, even his growls sounded very weird for those years. But his stage presence those years were just phenomenal in my opinion.
Yeah, Darren
Yeah.
carried in that time frame.
Hmm. But yeah, it's been a good conversation though. I'm glad we were able to do this. Any closing
Yeah, no, it's great.
thoughts? Closing thoughts on System, Serj?
Um.
Um,
Here. I think this
fuck
is
the system.
Fuck
yeah.
the system.
Fuck,
That's
that's
it.
perfect. Fuck
Nothing
the
else.
system.
Fuck the system. Well, yeah, this has been a great little thing we did. You know, I'm happy you guys were able to join me for this. Thank you guys for coming on. I hope we can do this again in the future. Shout out to Cabster for the name. Surgical,
Oh, yeah.
the Serjical Pod. I love that, by
Yeah.
the way. The Serjical Pod. Thank you guys for watching the Serjical
Love
Pod.
it, love it. No
Um,
problem.
I appreciate you all
Thank you, guys.
watching. I appreciate you guys joining me. Thank you guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Sure.
Peace out.
Ciao.